Thanks, Fran.
I'm glad I remembered.
Hey, that's a win this morning.
Yes, it is.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to give it one more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. Got a great group this morning, so hopefully everybody is keeping warm. It is frigid where I am at today, so I think that's most of the state. Okay, I'll admit these last couple of people and we'll go ahead and get started here at 10:02. Just want to do a brief introduction to myself. I am probably Prevention Action Alliance's newest employee, and my name is Amy Kuntz. I'm familiar with the coalition world with my background with a DFC coalition, and I've been in public health for 10 plus years. So just wanted to say hi and introduce myself to the group. Thank you all for being here. Fran is going to go ahead and take it away, go over the RFP, and then we're also going to have our speaker, one of the trainers, his name is Alfredo, and we'll have him pop on here in the next couple of minutes and explain everything to you. So thank you. Welcome for being here. Reach out if you have any questions. We'll be happy to help you. I'll be monitoring the chat. And I'll go ahead and introduce Fran Varga, and she's going to go ahead and take it over.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Amy. If you don't know me, I'm Fran Varga. I coordinate the Statewide Prevention Coalition Association and also now work on the Ohio Coalition Institute. And this is a really exciting opportunity. So I'm so glad that you are all here to learn about it and ask questions. As we're going along, if you have questions, you can put them in the chat box. I believe Q&A is also enabled, but you might have to click around to find that button. So if you can't find it, chat is perfectly fine. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm also going to send in the website so that you can review along with me if you would like. So you can all see the website. Good, perfect. So this is the link that I just sent in the chat. This is your main webpage for the outcomes-based strategic planning pilot. This just goes through a brief overview of what the pilot will look like, as well as some important dates. So the RFA was released on Monday. This is Wednesday. You're all here. Thank you for being here at the informational webinar. All questions that you have that you don't ask in this webinar will need to be submitted to this email, cbs@preventionactionalliance.org, by this Friday at 5 p.m. And then the questions and answers will be posted at this link. So you will be able to see them once we have questions and answers. They'll be down here. So please do not email any of us directly with questions, since this is a learning collaborative opportunity. We need to give everybody the fair chance to see all the questions and answers. So we just ask that everybody send them to this email, and also that way they're compiled for us so we can just check that email and not worry about it. The application is due Friday, January 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern. This will be submitted via SurveyMonkey. And then coalitions will be notified the week of February 3rd, probably towards the end of that week. If you are a coalition, you probably know that CADCA is that week of February 3rd. So I'm sure we'll all be busy that week. So now I will go through these documents that are down here. So the first thing that you will see here is the application link. And when you click on that, it will take you to SurveyMonkey. And this is where you're going to submit everything. It'll be in this SurveyMonkey. You will see the prompts for your contact information. It'll make you put in information here. So I'm just going to show, on a second, if I can. Hold on. I can see it from the back end so that I can show you the full thing without inputting information. So you will see the applicant organization. It'll ask you for your contact information, all of that. And then the 4 narrative prompts. These do have a word limit. The first prompt is 300 words max, and the next 3 are 500 words max. We just ask that you don't write an essay. These are simple prompts. We don't need you to do more work than you have to. So really, we just want to know who you are, what type of prevention work you're engaged in, how would participating in this learning collaborative benefit your coalition, and then any perceived or anticipated obstacles or challenges and how we can help you with that. So really just these 4 prompts for the narrative portion. And then you will see the assurances and other documentation section. So in this section, we ask that you list the names, positions, and email addresses of the folks that you would like to participate in the Learning Collaborative. This is 2 to 4 individuals in your organization who you would like to attend the Learning Collaborative. If this changes at any point, that is okay. We just ask that you have these members identified for the application so that we know who you're planning on having participate. And then lastly, the conditions of award and assurances. You will need to submit a signed assurances document, and I will go over that as well. So that's the application. August, I see you have your hand raised. What was your question?
Hi, Fran. So I just had a question for the Learning Collaborative. Can you explain a little bit of what is meant by the Learning Collaborative?
Yes. So this will be a group of coalitions that are going to come together for 4 virtual sessions, virtual training sessions, and then 1 in-person celebration session. And what these are is let me pull up. If we click on the request for application here, you will see that there are these specific meeting dates with these specific topics. So we have our trainers, Alfredo and Matt, with the NIATx Foundation, and they're going to be leading a training through this learning collaborative that is all about a new method of outcomes-based strategic planning. So they're going to lead you through the MAPS framework, how to do culturally responsive prevention delivery, the NIATx process improvement model, and implementing the SPIF with NIATx. So basically, it's just this training program that you will all go through as a cohort. So it's coming together as a group of coalitions to go through all of these sessions and learn this new model. And you will also come out of the learning collaborative with different deliverables. So you'll have a product that you're going to take home to your coalition, a plan for strategic planning based on this model. Does that kind of answer your question? I know Alfredo, if he's on here yet, can answer more in detail about the specifics.
Yeah, thank you. That's great. This seems really awesome.
Thanks, August. Appreciate your question. So now that I am on this page here, this is the RFA. You can read through it online. Once again, there are these important dates here, and all the submission information is here. Eligibility, you must be a coalition based in Ohio. You must attend all the learning collaborative sessions that will be conducted via Zoom. And these are the meeting dates for all of those sessions. So the first 4 will be virtual, and then the last one will be a celebration session that will be in person. Jessica, what was your question? I see you raise your hand.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My question is, do we have to submit a project during the during the training, or we're gonna be done with the training and then submit a project?
So you do not have to submit a project with your application. You don't have to outline a project or anything. This training is going to equip you with the final results in project. So they're going to guide you through the process. So you don't have to do any sort of project creation up front.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Fran, we have a couple questions in the chat. So Ashley is asking, does it have to be a coalition? I lead a team of school-based social workers, and I am a prevention coordinator for 2 counties. We serve in school districts in both counties doing prevention work for students. Does that count?
I'm not 100% sure. I do think that we are asking for coalition-based work, but I do think that this work could apply. So I won't say no. I don't know, Amy, if you had any thoughts on that.
I think if you're working with social problems in school districts and things like that, that it would apply as well. So Ashley, I would encourage you to apply. We'll definitely be looking at the applications as a whole, but it sounds like you do some things that coalitions do. So I would say go ahead and apply. And when it says organizations, maybe put down the district that you're specifically working in. I did school-based prevention as well, so that's kind of where my experience came from. But I would just give a little bit more in that definition of who you are. I know you're, text limited, but I would go ahead and do that. And
yeah, and I will say for the SurveyMonkey, the word counts are just like a suggested word count. The actual box, I think, will let you type as much as you want. So if you do go over, we're not going to be like, I can't believe you wrote 302 words,
Exactly. We're just hoping to keep it concise because thankfully, we've had several RFAs come out, and we've had a lot of people applying for those. So we're a small but mighty team here at PAA, but we do review and rate all of those. So if you can keep it concise, we would appreciate it. But yeah, a little over, we're not going to ding you. So here's a black and white question from Amy. How many coalitions are being accepted, Fran?
We are looking at 10.
August has another question. Can 2 coalitions from the same organization apply?
I would think so.
If they're separate coalitions,
Yeah.
August, I'm not sure if that's like if you have a prevention coalition and then a youth-led, I think that might be 2 coalitions separate.
Yeah, they would be separate. So we have the Cuyahoga Problem Gambling Coalition, and then we also have the College Mental Health Coalition.
Yes, I would say both of those would qualify for a separate application, correct?
Yes, because you would have different strategic plans.
Thank you.
Oh, good, Ashley. I'm glad that Ashley responded with, yay, fantastic. And we support 11 districts across the area. I think this would be very valuable. It sounds like this might help you a lot. So, and that's all that's in the chat as of right now, Fran. So,
okay, perfect.
And I did send an email to Alfredo to see if he would be joining us. And I don't see him as of yet, but I'm just giving you a little bit of a heads up. I will let you know when I see him.
All right, sounds good. Where was I? The meeting dates. These are the meeting dates. There are the first 4, as I said, are virtual. These are on Wednesdays, 10 to 11:30. So February 19th, March 19th, April 9th, and April 30th. And then our final in-person celebration day will be June 24th. If you are accepted, you will receive a $3,000 stipend for your participation. And then here are the funding permissions for that stipend. You don't have to submit like a budget proposal or anything like that. We just want to help you in creating the final product, and whether that's, staff time or travel, all those sorts of things. We hope that the $3,000 will help you participate. Yes, August.
So let's say we wanted to have like 3 people in the learning collaborative that would be attempting to attend these meetings from one of our coalitions. And let's say 2 of the other people, maybe their schedule, they can't attend every single one of these meetings, but I could attend every single one of these meetings. Is that okay to still include them in the learning collaborative as long as one person can attend from each coalition all these meetings?
Yes, ideally, we would love for all the staff members attending to attend the session, but we understand that schedules are complicated. So as long as there is the project lead can attend the meetings, that is perfect.
Thank you.
Yes. And so those are the funding permissions. The resources here are just if you're curious about learning more about the framework that will be used for the training. That's here, the NIATx framework. The strategic prevention framework, I'm sure you are all familiar with, but if you want a refresher, here it is, as well as the national class standards, which will be part of the culturally responsiveness of your strategic planning. And those are just a few resources. And then as we scroll down, we can see, let me zoom that in. All applications must be submitted online at the SurveyMonkey link. And once again, the deadline is January 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. And here are the required components. So this is all what is in the SurveyMonkey, but it's listed here as well. The applicant organization contact info. I'm so sorry, my cat just laid down on my keyboard and tried to open something. The address, phone, and email contact for your project lead. These are the narrative prompts that are listed in the SurveyMonkey. So briefly describe your organization. What types of prevention activities are you engaged in? How would participating benefit your coalition? And any anticipated obstacles or challenges. This is the scoring rubric. Does the application meet the scope of the RFA? And then 5 points possible for each of the narrative prompts, 5 points for uploading your assurances and other documentation. So it's pretty simple. Just answer the questions and upload the assurances. For the assurances, if you go back to this home page, you can click here to find the assurances. And you will need to list your organization name here, the coalition, the organization, whoever is the, the organization that's going to be in the pilot program. These are all of the assurances, so I'll just go through them right now. It's pretty standard. If you've ever applied for like a capacity for prevention grant or any other learning collaborative through PAA, it's pretty standard. This is the same assurances language that we use. Awardee will utilize the funds solely for the conditions outlined in the RFA. You will provide Prevention Action Alliance with a copy of a W-9 or your 501c3, what's that called, Amy? The like certification?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go with certification.
Certification. I don't know IRS
Your
terminology.
Your letter of recognition, basically, that you are a 501c3, not in process, but that you actually have the 501c3 status, if not a W-9.
Yes. So that will be submitted along with your assurances in the SurveyMonkey. On all of the written materials that you generate from the project, you will include this statement, that it was made possible with support from Prevention Action Alliance, the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, the Ohio Coalition Institute, and the NIATx Foundation. Completing all activities and related expenses by the dates in the RFP, and returning any unspent funds to Prevention Action Alliance on June 27th or 2 weeks before the final report is due, whichever is first. The agreement to participate in all of these sessions, as well as the completion of the coalition deliverables listed below. And I will say for the coalition deliverables, these dates might change based on what happens during the session. So if these do change and you are part of the cohort, you will be notified. So I don't want anyone to, freak out and be like, oh, by February 12th, I have to have this done. It's subject to change. But these are pretty, these will be the general timeline of those things. Awardee will complete all activities and reporting requirements by the dates in the RFA. Awardee agrees not to accept sponsorship from or partnership with the alcohol, tobacco, or cannabis industry for any purpose within the scope of this project. This is an indemnity clause, and I will let you all read through that because that's kind of some jargon. Awardee possesses the legal authority to apply for the project. And then awardee will comply with all applicable federal, state, and local laws prohibiting unlawful discrimination on the basis of race, color, gender, sexual preference, national origin, or disability. And then we ask that you include the name, signature, and the date for your project lead, your CEO/executive director, as well as your fiscal officer. And for signatures, we can accept, like a scanned copy of a physical signature or a verified e-signature. We cannot accept just a typed name. So it needs to be a physical or an e-signature.
Fran, I have a question specific to that.
Yes.
What if you have a fiscal agent? This is from Greg. What if you have a fiscal agent that funds our coalition? Can we use the fiscal agent nonprofit status for information?
So like for submitting your W-9 or 501c3 certification?
Is that what you're asking,
Is
Greg?
that, yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I believe so. Since they are your fiscal agent, you can submit their information for that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you for your question. It's a good question.
Yes, and then just once again, the application deadline is January 24th by 5 p.m. Eastern. And then you can start the SurveyMonkey application. You can come back to it at any time. We don't judge how long it was open for. I understand that sometimes you just open it and then you put in all the information right before the deadline. It's a-okay. And Allison, I see your hand. What's your question?
Yeah. So about the dates that we are required for attendance, either virtually or in person, I am project lead on another grant that we were awarded, which requires me to be on a virtual meeting June 24th from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I was wondering if you thought it would still be possible for me to attend the in-person ceremony, or if I should make someone else project lead.
I think that would still be possible. The in-person celebration, I think you could, if you aren't able to attend, you could send your another person in your stead.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't worry
I
about
reached
it.
out to see if I can send a representative for my virtual meeting, and if that's okay, that's what I'll do instead, but I wanted to double check.
Yeah,
you.
absolutely. Especially since it's the celebration session. We totally understand and want to be flexible with that.
Yeah. And
Okay, thank you, Fran.
We just want to make sure for, representation to talk about your project and what the results were, so we can share out with everybody to kind of have a, you know, like we said, celebration, but also a learning session as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. And then, so that's everything that's on this website. Like I said, any other questions that you may have will need to be submitted to cbs@preventionactionalliance.org, and those questions and answers will be posted right here. I will stop my share, and I will open it up to any more questions. And August, I see your hand raised, so I will turn it to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, is there a time expectation for how much time someone involved with this project, especially the project lead, should be spending every week or just throughout this project so we have an understanding of what that would look like within our current capacities?
That is a great question. I would want to double check with Alfredo on that, and I will get back to you about it. But I will post it on there. So thank you for that question, because I would like to confirm with our trainers what their expectations are.
But I believe it's about
Okay.
90 minutes for the training, correct, Fran?
Yes.
And then from there, there will be outside work. So I would say, you know, your monthly, I would say monthly, you're probably looking at 5 to 10 hours per month. But I mean, it really
Okay.
depends on, you know, the project, you know, that you pick and the
Mhm.
time and effort and how many people are working on it. So, I mean, there's a lot of variables, but we will go ahead and confirm with our trainers as well what they're thinking.
Okay, thank you.
And there is one person by phone, but I don't think that's Alfredo. And I have emailed both him and Matthew. So,
Okay. Well, we apologize for Alfredo not being on this call. I think he could answer a lot of questions about the specifics. But if you do have questions about the specifics, please email cbs@preventionactionalliance.org, and we will get your questions answered. We really want to make this opportunity as accessible as possible. So please do not hesitate to reach out as questions pop up.
and you can go to the NIATx website and look up some of the basics too. I will say, like, a quick excuse me, FAQ just from the most recent reviews that we did. There has been just a simple forgetting a name or forgetting a signature or things like that that have maybe knocked people out of the running for the top 10 of the last thing that we've done. So make sure like all of those I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and double check your paperwork, because sometimes it's something like that that makes a close race a little bit, you know, a close scoring, I should say, a little bit less close. So I think that's a good reminder, no matter what you're applying for. But we're excited for this opportunity, and thank you guys for being here. I will just ask one more time, Alfredo, Matthew, are you guys out there on a phone or no? Yeah, and so with them not being here, you guys can definitely send any questions about the NIATx framework or any of the topics to .cbs@Prevention Action Alliance. And I threw the link again, and this recording will be posted probably within a day, right, Fran?
Yes. And I'm just sending that email again in the chat. If you wanted to copy it and send us all your questions, we are happy to answer them. It is 10:30, so unless there are any additional questions, we will begin wrapping up. But if you do have a question that's coming to you right now, please feel free to raise your hand, put it in the chat. If a question pops up as soon as we close this meeting, because that's usually how it works for me, send us an email. We will be checking for those questions. So thank you all for being here today. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your interest. And we look forward to reviewing your applications.
Absolutely. We'll just hang to see if anybody else has any other questions
Yeah.
that they didn't want to ask kind of in front of people and let everybody kind of fall off.
I'm trying to figure out how to stop the recording, but I'm not seeing my button. Oh, there it is.